You're watching me paint a portrait of my husband, Kurt. This was technically one of my assignments for the Milan Art alla prima Portraits from Life class. That's part 1, section 7. But honestly, this painting is not what I learned in the class at all. Here, I sort of follow the assignment. I start sketching Kurt in perspective, trying to place his head correctly. But I very quickly slip back into painting on instinct, and from this point on, I am not thinking about the Milan steps at all. I was just enjoying my painting time and listening to him play. And he was moving a lot, which made measuring and accuracy a real challenge. But he was having fun, and I was having fun. And in that moment, that was all that mattered. I broke the rules right from the setup. I didn't make Kurt sit for the portrait. I let him play Rock Band. I didn't bother to light him the way the lesson described. Instead, I decided I'd be as unintrusive as possible and let him enjoy his day off while I painted him. And this was just the beginning of me not following instructions. From that very first brush stroke, that minty green background, I was completely off the rails. I have no idea why I chose that color. It's a far cry from the simple knock back the white of the canvas approach they taught in the lesson. I covered that whole background in green, and I think I was fighting that decision for the rest of the portrait. Here's where I decide I need to commit to his eyes. I thought, if I can just get his eyes right, I can make more confident decisions around them. And it worked. I'm really happy with how I captured the intensity of his gaze, and I love that little glint of white highlight on his glasses. And I feel like getting those eyes set in place allowed me to then set the nose and the mouth and the chin and the ear, and the rest of the painting fell from there. Now, the actual lesson this week was fantastic. It focused on life drawing in charcoal and alla prima painting in oil. Most of my homework was done at a local gallery's still life drawing sessions. And because those were nude models, I'm not going to show that work here. I really don't want any issues with flags on my channel. But I did countless sketches in graphite, charcoal, and Conte sticks, as well as 2 long pose full body oil paintings. And in both cases, I gave the paintings to the model at the end. So overall, there is one challenge with this painting as we look at the end of it, and that is his jaw and his chin is a bit forward and down a little bit. And this is a recurring problem that I know that I have with portraits and that I need to work on. It is sad to say that even though the subject of this painting is the man that I love the most in this world, the thing that I love the most about this painting is this guitar. I am so impressed with how quickly and in such few strokes I was able to show you a guitar with a little gleaming highlight, with dimension, and just a hint of some brush strokes really does convey the frets on the arm. I like this guitar a lot. All throughout this portrait of Kurt, though, it just did not look like him. I was measuring, but with him constantly shifting, it was tricky to lock in proportions, shadows, or highlights. And it was finally in these very last strokes when I realized that his overall head size was just too small, that the man I loved started to emerge from the canvas. We had a great time, and I loved the completed portrait, but I fretted for a week that I hadn't really done the assignment. So I decided to do it all over again. When I finally decided to follow the Milan instructions in my second portrait, the experience was completely different. Let me show you what happened when I did it their way. I'm off to a good start. My subject, Amber, is well prepared to sit for 2 hours. We have good lighting, and I have a place to stand that lets me look somewhat directly at Amber. And I go for a straight head-on view. Gone is the minty green mistake from the first attempt. I start with this simple, pale background, just like the lesson suggests. And I actually follow the instructions. Measure and mark and measure and mark, chiseling in her features. I set my timer, and this first 20-minute session, where I measure and sketch the proportions, as well as block in the darks, is over in no time. For the second 20-minute block, I am supposed to further increase the darks in the image, and I struggled a bit here. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Amber is young and pretty and fair-skinned and fair-haired, so there aren't a lot of strong darks for me to grab a hold of. As a result, I skip the subtraction method. I just don't have enough darks to work with because I didn't add enough to begin with. In the example and in other places where the subtraction method is used, they subtract out darks until what results is almost a painting in the style of grisaille, where gray paint is used to create a tonal study and then transparent color is glazed on top of it. This method aims for a high level of realistic detail, almost like a black and white photo. That level of realism is something I definitely want to push further in the next lesson. I already peeked ahead, and I know I can develop that step more than I did here. So instead, I skip ahead and start in on skin tones. I'm using a very light and pale application, and there's a sentiment among these portrait painters that it's hard to paint someone who's a young, pretty woman, that there are no lines and no weathering on their skin, and it makes it hard to deliver anything from a portrait other than smooth, soft, blendy transitions of a very subtle color variation. If watching me work through these Milan assignments has helped you, and you're considering joining the program yourself, my affiliate link is down in the description and pinned comment. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help me keep making these honest from hobbyist to pro videos about my experience in the course. Plus, I have a bonus for anyone who joins the program through my link. I will be your accountability partner. You'll have someone a few steps ahead of you in the program that you can reach out to for immediate and honest feedback about your works, kind of like a painting lifeline. When it's time to do the details, I have a lot of fun bringing her eyes to life with that sparkle and highlight, a little bit of a water line on her lower lid, as well as putting her makeup on. I add the shine there on the tip of her nose and the glint of her nose ring, and she's starting to feel like Amber. I give her some shoulders here so she's not just floating there, and it adjusts and fills in her neck, which looked just a little too long. I add in some lovely warm yellows and highlights for her hair. I have so much fun when I get to add her full and shiny lips here. Later, Amber's mother, Tracy, mentioned how amazing it was that I had the exact color of Amber's lipstick in my paint collection. And I just smiled inside, knowing that I was literally working with 3 colors in addition to black and white. And I just beamed inwardly at her unknowing praise of my color mixing skills and abilities. Now, my fourth and final 20-minute session is for the last few details, and with some streaks added in for an abstract background, my second 80-minute portrait painting was complete. And there we have it, 2 paintings, 3 total hours of painting time, and I love them both. I can see a big difference between them, and before I share my thoughts, I'm curious to know what you think. Which portrait do you like better, Kurt or Amber? Which one do you think is a better painting? As I sit here looking at these side by side, it's honestly hard to choose a favorite. Mostly, I'm just amazed that both of these paintings came from my hand. My husband's sits on my dresser. And I'm going to add a few more touches and frame this one of Amber as a gift from my bestie, her mother. Both are sure to bring their collectors loads of joy over the coming years. And isn't that really what it's all about? You've made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. Drop your favorite purple emoji in the comments, just so I can see who my ride or die friends are. And if you've enjoyed this portrait painting session, you can see my first oil painting portrait here. And if you want to go where the algorithm winds blow, YouTube thinks you'll like this video next.